Good morning. It's a gorgeous day out. It's hot. Just was thinking about all of the things that are a cycle of life and this little fascination with things from the past. I love finding treasures of memories that could have been memories, wondering about who they belonged to, what was the story. Whenever we lived by a beach, I loved going down to the shore whenever it was low tide and collecting lost things, kind of like a little Tinkerbell, like pieces of pottery or ceramic china or glass, and then looking up to see when it was, when they had it, when it was around. One time I found an ID bracelet, a military ID bracelet. I got that back to a granddaughter. The grandfather had passed, but she was really happy to have that. She had just found out that she had cancer and she didn't have any family. So I was really touched to have that piece of family reaching out. Last summer I found a Bible in the thrift store and I looked in it and I just saw how fragile it was, and like I don't even know how it survived going through like their thrift store bins and stuff. But it was on a little coffee table in the thrift store, and I picked it up and I opened it so gently and I started seeing like handwritten names, family tree, dates, birth, death, little newspaper clippings, and I saw how much care was put into recording these events, and it made me so sad to think that this was just being left. I don't know how it got there, if it was a mistake, it was an accident, got in a box that wasn't meant to go into the thrift store or what, but I knew that it had to be saved. It was like a little child that you can tell that they got separated from their parents, and you're like, I'm going to stay with you until we make sure that you get your parents. So that's kind of what I felt like. So anyway, making some more calls, found out finally, I got a hold of a person who was the caretaker of an elderly lady in her 90s. And that 90-year-old woman, it was her grandparents. That was her grandparents' names. So she was, whenever they told her about it, she was so happy and surprised. And before she passed away, I got her the Bible. She was not able to see it, but she could feel it, and she could feel how fragile the pieces of the Bible were. She just was really happy, and made me happy to recognize that piece of history is so important. It's so important that people are not forgotten. People's lives. I've kind of gotten off Facebook and everything because I didn't like the way it made me feel. I didn't like posting something and then feeling like that ego feeling of, did somebody like my post? It made me feel really like not natural. So I was like, this isn't good for me. So I took a break. But this is the way we are documenting lives these days. This is the way that stories are told and stories are remembered by people. So I'm gonna try to do this, try to get back into the world as we know it, but trying to protect myself along the way. Just thinking about the things that we leave behind and the things that are left that we find later. I used to, living at the beach, I collect shells, and I have a collection of fossils. And the fossils just are like so amazing to me, to think that they're millions of years old. It's like millions of years old. That's crazy that it's still survived. Even though it's probably a little bit more weathered from the water and everything. I have it in a special place because it just holds a lot of history. Just imagining what that time period was like, and that I get to hold a piece of it. And now that it is the end of July, it's almost August, there's leaves that are falling. The leaves on the ground are becoming so fragile, and they are deteriorating, getting little holes in them. So pretty though. It's like even in this stage, it's gorgeous, like lace. So delicate. Anyway, just thinking about that and about the things we leave behind and the memories and the history and all that. And I thought I would recite a poem that I memorized a couple of years ago, and I feel like it's kind of appropriate. So it's called A Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. What the heart of a young man said to the psalmist: tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us farther than today. Art is long and time is fleeting, and though our hearts are stout and brave, still like muffled drums beating funeral marches to the grave. In life's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like dumb driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. Trust no future, however pleasant, let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints in the sands of time, footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother seen, might take heart again. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing. Learn to labor and to wait. Hope you all are having a great day. Sending out so much love. Bye.